Hey everyone, Gurky here with Exodus, bringing you another sort of Convallaria video. In this video, we're going to be doing a unit spotlight and guide for none other than BERYL. Alright, so BERYL is a destroyer, and she absolutely destroys. She's part of the Papal States, and sort of Convallaria team, and she's aggression. All right, let's get in here and check out her skills, see what we've got, see where we're going with it. All right, so over here we have Bomb. Selects one spot within a cross-shaped range around the character, dealing 70% AoE damage to all enemies in a horizontal row of 5 tiles, and changes the tiles into burning. This effect lasts 2 turns. This is your typical wall of flame, and this is the one I recommend. So we have this casual search, instant skill. BERYL gains 1 random luck side skill. The skill remains available for 2 turns. All right, so we have bombing, fiery luxite, healing luxite, free luxite, and other skills. All right, so up here we have attack boost. Grants attack 2 to all allies within the target location. Grants immunity to attack attribute debuffs, lasts 2 turns. Then we have energy restoration. At the end of a turn, recovers an additional 1 energy. If energy is less than 1, recovers another 1 energy. This is not a bad skill whatsoever. For normal teams, I would recommend the energy restoration. I went this route because when I use her, she's paired up with Cole, Dandelion, Rawiyad, and usually Gloria. So I chose this, but I would recommend getting energy restoration. You can even use a Castalia if you don't mind swapping between the two. QD decreases range damage by taken by BERYL by 25% and AoE damage taken by 40%. This is what I chose because she's usually not getting hit with melee attacks. Then we have Firewalking. Become immune to Scorch and burning tiles. When on a burning tile, the damage taken is decreased by 10%. At the end of the turn, recovers 20% of the character's HP. I'm sure there's some practical application here, but I chose the extra damage mitigation. Try this. Heals other allies within 3 tiles around the character, restoring 10% HP and 2 energy. This is kind of a no-brainer. This is absolutely spectacular, especially when you're in longer fights or you need that extra burst of skills with the energy. Then we have Flaming Meteor. Prepares for 1 turn. Once casting the skill, deals 140% fire AoE damage to all enemies within 3 tiles around the target and skips the turn. Again, this is something that I can potentially see used in certain circumstances, but because this is way too powerful, maybe you can use this in like PvP or something and just set up a blast zone to get your characters in to try to manipulate the enemy team. Alright. Scorching attack deals 80% magical damage and inflicts scorch on the target for 2 turns. Single target attack, BERYL deals physical damage equal to 80% of her magic attack. There is a 30% chance to inflict stun. Now, I looked over these skills earlier, and I do believe Scorching Attack is going to be the better choice here. But again, like the Flaming Meteor, I think Bang has a lot of practical use in PvP. And let's check out the rank 11 skills. So first one we have is Boom. BERYL cannot move before performing the skill. She attacks enemies within 2 tiles 5 times, with hits randomly divided amongst those within range. Every hit deals 30% fire AoE damage to all enemies within 1 tile of the target, with a 50% chance of casting Scorch. This is hands down what I'm going to be using. And first aid, single target healing heals 80%. She's not a healer. This right here, the 10% isn't even that big of a heal, but the 2 energy is absolutely massive. So I'm going to say first aid is a hard skip. And as you can see, my skill set over here. Oh, see that? Oh, I just got it. That's why. Silly me. Silly me, silly me. Okay. So, let's talk about gear. Alright, so I have the Resentment Broom. This is one of her best pieces of gear. Unfortunately, the game does not give you... I haven't gotten anything. I had to pull on the weapon banner to get this. But increases AoE damage by 15%. After dealing damage with an active attack, there's a 25% chance to inflict life loss equal to 20% magic attack on the target for 1 turn. This is probably one of her top 2-3 gear. You're going to want to use gear that increases AoE damage or magic attack. She's a Nuger, and that's what you're going to use her for. So for the trinkets, we have a couple options. So this one right here decreases damage from ranged attacks by 4%. This is going to stack with the other damage mitigation. Then you have physical damage taken decreases by 20%. It does give a gear skill depending on where you're at. This could be useful. And you're pretty much going to want anything that is going to mitigate damage for you. There are some other options, less spectacular options. You can land a. See, that's another gear skill. I don't like those. There are many options. When there are no allies within 4 tiles around the character, attack defense increases by 4%, crit increases by 10%. Obviously, the attack doesn't help her. That's just kind of what I got stuck with. Now, for the tarots, I have AoE damage taken is decreased by 20%. This is to, again, damage mitigation to try to keep her alive. There are some other options here that I believe are better. Damage increased by 10% when attacking healthy enemies. So your first attack or two, it's going to do an extra 10% damage. And over here we have increases damage dealt by 8%. When casting steals, for each additional hit on one enemy, the damage dealt is increased by 4%, up to 12%. I think this is probably the best tarot you can do. Anything for range damage mitigation or increased damage is going to help you out with her. As of right now, I mean, BERYL kind of has a spot on pretty much any team. She's hands down one of the most versatile damage dealers in the game currently. We do have some other units coming out in the future. I can't even tell you if it's near future or not, just because they decided to change up the way the banners are going to go. And for like reroll viability, everybody's rerolling for Gloria, which is totally fine. But she is definitely a target at the very least. Between her and Cole, I would try to grab them both. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe. Peace.